开始了吗？Hello, welcome to Total. Before we have introduced our power tools, especially the cordless tools. As we know, for example, this cordless drill, 20 volt, is very powerful and can drill. How can we do that work? Just depend on the drill, the machine. Maybe it can use as a hammer like this. So if tools want to perfect work, it's very necessary is to choose the right accessories. For example, we use this cordless drill. We want to drive screw. Directly use this machine can do nothing, but we can choose the screwdriver bits. Then we can drive the screw. Or we want to drill a holes in metal, in wood, or in concrete. We need to change the accessories, change to HSS drill bits, resin drill bits, or wood drill bits. So from here we can know the accessories. It's accessories. It's just accessory, but it's very important part for our perfect work. So today, after we already share our tools before, we will share the accessories, some experience or the basic knowledges. On this desk, we just show part of accessories. Actually, not all, but I think when you have a glance, the first sight, you're feeling, somebody, what's this? What's for this? And I can use this for what work? If you are very experienced, of course, not too much difficult, but I think for most of us, how to choose the right accessories need time to practice or to learn by our experience. Today, by this chance, I'll share my experience with all of us. First, we know we use power tools. Normally, the accessories is used together with the power tools. So accessories is just the abstract name. The full name is power tools accessories. So accessories always work together with the power tools. Just now I said, if we use the drill only, we can do nothing. Another way, if we just use accessories, also we can do nothing. For example, just now I take a screwdriver bits. If you know this machine, just use these bits. Same things, I can do nothing. So accessories and the power tools together can complete our works perfectly. So now we'll introduce which kind of accessories match what kinds of power tools. Firstly, we know we do the work use the power tools mostly for cutting, drilling, screw, make holes like this normal work. All these accessories were from this side to this side to introduce. The mainly for drill, this part. We can use these drills. We can see this is the drill set. This separately. This also separately, and some is the sets. whatever is separately or sets, or is the trios. First, we should know the trios used with what machine. We can see the trios first. Who can tell me the difference? Sorry, once again, because mostly of the drills is made of iron metal. So normally when we touch the surface directly by our hands, has salty, it's easy let the drill bits rust. So if we take or touch the drill bits, it's better wear the gloves, especially if we are a sailor in the shop. Every day we will take too much, so it's better to wear a glove. Otherwise, this time you touch, then the salty sweat will rust the drill bits. Okay, for drill bits, we know normally we drill in wood, metal, and concrete. These three kinds of materials. These three kinds of work, we can use the same machine. For example, this one, we can use the same machine. How about the drill bits? We also can use the same drill bits or not. The answer is not. We must use different drill bits for different materials. Firstly, most popular drill bits is HSS drill bits. HSS drill bits, what mean the HSS is high speed steel. These drill bits is used for drill in metal. HSS is materials, and okay, I take one piece. This HSS drill bits. We can see here have many sets. What's the difference between these sets? This HSS and this one is for concrete. Masonry drill bits work on concrete. And also here have one set for wood. What's the difference between these three sets? We can see HSS drill bits. The tips is sharp. Because we know if we want to drill a hole in metal, the tip must be sharp. Otherwise, the metal is very hard. It's not easy, even can't drill a piece of steel. But for concrete, this masonry drill bits. Masonry drill bits. We can see the head is not sharp. Take another. This HSS and this masonry, the head is not sharp because we know masonry or concrete inside is stone. The stone we make the hole is not by grinding. Actually, it's dependent on an impact force to break it and then take out the mesh. So HSS drill bits for metal, and this masonry drill bits for concrete, for masonry. The shape is just like this. It looks similar, but the tip is different. This is the function. And for the concrete, we know we can use an impact drill, and we also can use a rotor hammer. These two kinds of machine, both can use for drilling on concrete. They use the same drill bits? No, it's different. If just from the head, yeah. If from here, it's same. The tip is same. But this side, take off the, okay. We can see the shape. The shape actually is different. This one is full round. It's helped to easily catch by a 3-claw chuck. And this one is standard SDS plus chuck system. So it's suitable for quick change. Used with the rotary hammer. You can see this one impact drill. This for impact drill. Impact drill or our impact coordinates drill. Impact drill normally with this key. We can use it to loose or tighten the chuck. Okay. This one, full round. If we use this, maybe the claw catch is not the round part, cannot catch it tightly. So this hammer drill is not suitable for impact drill. Impact drill, we should choose this one, the round shape. Then like this to catch it. Okay, catch it tight. And another side, hammer drill bits cannot use for impact drill. This masonry drill bits can use for rotary hammer or not. We can try. Here is the rotary hammer. Rotary hammer use hammer drill bits like this. Quick change chuck system. Directly inset. Quickly change. Let's show. What happened? Okay, set. Like this, and push this, take on this, like this. And but if we use this one, because this is round, it's inset, but it cannot lock. So messenger bits not suitable for rotary hammer. Okay. This three kind of drill bits, HSS drill bits used for metal. masonry drill bits and rotary and the hammer drill bits used for concrete, masonry. Different materials, work on different materials. Same materials, but use different machine. Use different machine. This rotary hammer. Okay, this the material and the machine. And then, if same rotary hammer drill bits, same rotary hammer bits, we also have. You can see this one. Slot, and cross. The head is different. Both we can use the same size. This size is 12, and here also have one size is 12. Yes, this is 12. These two, same chuck system, quick change. Both use rotary hammer. The tip, slot, and cross. What's the difference between these two? This one, two pieces of blade, so the working efficiency is more efficient. Cross one. Okay, this is the difference tip. And then just now I mentioned one thing, 12 millimeter. It's talk about the size of the tip. We talk about if we go to a shop to buy a drill bits, how can we let the people know which one I want to buy? If I just go inside and say, I need a 12 millimeter hammer drill bits, I think you can get not what you really want. Because for the rotary hammer drill bits, normally we talk about is not only one size, the diameter. Another size, also very important, is the length. So if we talk about the hammer drill bits, we should describe by two. One is the diameter, 12 millimeter, 10 millimeter, 8 millimeter, or something. Another is the length. How about the length? For example, here we have 10 milli and this one also 10 milli. This both is 10 milli. But we can see this one is short and this one is long. This size, the length is 160. It's suitable for drill a holes in the ore. This one, the length is 260. Actually, this one it can go through a normal thickness ore. Goes through. So if you want to go through the ore, of course, you should buy this 260 milli, this length. So when we describe a hammer drill, we should know the tips is one blade or cross, two blade. The diameter is 10 milli, 12 milli, or something. And the third is the length. It's about the drill bits. Okay. And this very big one. This also drill bits. What for this? This for wood. We can see also very sharp. Similar HSS drill bits. But HSS drill bits is drilling in metal. So don't have this inside the middle, this tip. This is help us to fix the position. So the shape of the tips let us easy to distinguish the drill bits is for metal or for wood, This is the difference from the tips we can know. And one more thing is this HS drill bits. We also have another HS drill bits. This. What's the difference? The size, one small, one big. Actually, I want to introduce is not this difference. This difference is the main difference is first. This one is our basic one. This is our industry one. Here have two differences. The main difference is materials. This one is HSS high-speed steel. This also high-speed steel, but it's different kinds of high-speed steel. This we call it in China. We call it 4341. 4341. And this one in China we call it 6542. If according to American standard, this one call it M2. M2 is better than 4341. So the main difference is the materials. The same size drill bits, one piece M2 can buy not only one or two piece basic one. It's more than double. So it's some basic knowledge about the drill bits, the materials, the shapes, and some size how we can describe it. Let us to choose the right drill bits for our right machine or right works. Let's do a short conclusion. First, drill bits, different kinds of materials, wood, metal, and concrete. Different drill bits, wood drill bits, HSS drill bits, hammer drill bits. And another is different machine use different drill bits. Impact drill use Western drill bits and HSS drill bits. Rotor hammer use hammer drill bits. And the last is even the same kind of drill bits. When we describe it, we should describe its diameter and the length. Okay, this is about the drill bits. Actually, the drill bits here we just show some size and some kinds of this. We can see so many size. Even we can from 1 millimeter to more bigger. Too much size. So if you are very familiar with the drill bits, you can choose. You can buy single piece. But we know in our early work, we will meet different size we want to drill. So if you are not so familiar, we recommend you buy some small set or more size set. It's better to help you. Okay. This is we meet mostly in our working. And for drill bits also have another wood drill bits. Just now, one we already introduced. Another for wood drilling also have this flat drill bits. Normally this kind of wood drill bits is used for small size. And if middle size, a little bigger than this, we can see this is wood drill bits. This size is not so big. It's not so big. It's just about 16 mm. 16 mm, but already so big and so heavy. If we choose this one, already reach 25 mm. It can drill a bigger holes, but it's use more save the material, and also it's light, easy to handle. So if we want to drill a middle size holes, normally we use the flat drill bits. Flat drill bits we have single piece, different size, from the small size, for example, this one is about 6 mm to 32 mm. The big is 32 mm. We also have this, or not only 32. We can see this already reached 36. This set is very useful for a carpenter working on wood, drilling on wood. If the size is bigger than 38, if we have a bigger flat drill bits, at this time, actually, we found another better. For big holes, we use a hole saw. This hole saw. This hole saw help us to make a big size hole in wood. This set, 6-piece set. This is not one piece. This is 6 piece. We can use this set in drilling the holes from the 26 to 63 millimeter. Use this wood drill bit set, wood hole saw. How can we use it? How can it work? It's many pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last one is 7. So we can make the holes the maximum this big holes. Wood. So after we introduce, then now I think when you want to drill a big hole, you will never to find like this drill bits, this size. No need this big size. We just use this like a piece of steel sheet. We can drill a big size holes, and this cost is cheap too much than this model big size drill bits. So if we choose a right accessories, it can save our energy, also can save our money. Okay, we just in here. Talk about the hole saw. Just now, the hole saw is for wood. And when we introduce the drill bits, we already introduced drill bits for wood and also drill bits for metal. If we have hole saw for metal, the answer is of course yes. This one is the hole saw. Different size hole saw for metal. It's made of two kinds of materials. So we call it bi-metal holes. This is suitable for drilling big size holes in metal. This is the separate from the small size to the middle size, different size. We can see small size, middle size, a bigger size. And we know this one is not a plate. It's also a hole saw, bimetal hole saw. So we can use this. Drilling so big holes. My heart, bigger than my heart. Bimetal hole saw in metal. Okay. This is a single size. Suitable for very professional worker or the factories. They use the same size, big quantity. If you are a personal worker, you don't need one size, so many pieces. Then we have another choice for you. A very nice set. Hole saw. Okay. This, like your jewelry box. Okay. This inside, already preparing the common size. In our daily work, we can drilling from the small size to this big size. This we're drilling in metal. Very nice set. We talk about wood and we talk about metal. We cannot forget concrete. Otherwise, the concrete will be very angry. Why don't have my tools? So for concrete, also this. Concrete small holes use this hammer drill bits or measuring drill bits. And for big holes, this. We use this. Used together with the rotary hammer. This is the packing. We take out and fix it. Okay. We fix it. Firstly, here have a core drill bits to just make the position. So we fixed the core drill bits. Instead, we should do partition here, flat, point to this position. And here I have one screw to fix it. Of course, when we really work, we use the spanner to tighten the screw. Tighten it. Okay. And then okay. So when we work, we use the rotor hammer first. The core drill bits make a small point or small holes, and then this core drill bits, this one can drill a big size. This is not the biggest. The biggest is like this. This one is used with the rotor hammer because you can see this chuck system is SDS plus chuck system, quick change system. Used with the rotor hammer, not use the impact drill or not use with the electric drill. So you have a good accessories. Also need a right machine. Use this accessory, you should use the rotor hammer. Same thinking, if you have a good machine, also should choose right accessories, it can finish your work very good performance. Okay. This is about drilling the hole in the concrete, different size. This is a small size. And what about this one? What about this one? It looks similar. It looks similar, just this guy. Looks similar, but the difference is, yeah, this one is specially for this, not for metal, not for wood. It's especially for ceramic tires, for the tires, because we know if we use this to drilling in the tires, it easily broken the surface of the tires, even broken the tire. But use this one, it's more smooth than this case. So if we want to drilling a holes in the tires, we use this set. Also, use the same base. We can fix different size. We can fix different size holes from the small to the big, drilling in the tires. Okay. So just now, we introduce all the accessories is about drilling. From drilling wood, drilling metal, drilling concrete. And from the drilling small size to the big size, we choose different kinds of drill bits. And the drill bits have different size. And even same size, they made of different materials. These accessories look small, but function is a little complex than the machine even. After the drilling, we only have the accessories for drilling? Of course not. Drilling is one part. The second part will introduce cutting. Drilling and cutting is two main parts of our accessories. Of course, besides these two, also have other accessories we'll introduce step by step. Now we'll introduce about the cutting discs. Okay. Cutting disc. Normally we'll introduce two kinds of cutting disc. Not only two. Same as the drill bits. For wood, for metal, for concrete. First, we can introduce most popular cutting metal. Working on metal, the disc, this, like a cake. Happy birthday. Okay, the cake, not the cake, the disc. The disc from here, first we know have different size. The different size used for different machine. Today, these samples, the biggest one, the size is 355. It's suitable for cut of saw. This used for cut of saw. Cut of saw, we use it to cut off the metal, the metal bar or the square metal. So this disc is used for cut off saw. And others, this small size, different small size, is used for different size angle grinder. We know the angle grinder, the most popular size is 4 inch, 4.5 inch, 5 inch, 7 inch, 9 inch. If we change to metric, it's equally 100 millimeter, 115 millimeter, 125 millimeter, 150 millimeter, 180 millimeter, and 230 millimeter. It's for different size angle grinder, different size angle grinder. So just now we talk about the size 4 inch, 1.5 inch is the outer diameter, the diameter. One thing we should pay attention is 4 inch and 4.5 inch. The size just 15 millimeter difference, but it's not only one small, one big. Not only, but also the size, the whole size is different. This too, this and this is different. If we buy a wrong disc, it cannot match the machine. It means 4 inch disc cannot match 4.5 inch angle grinder. And the same 4.5 inch disc cannot match the 4 inch angle grinder. So we should pay more attention to two sizes. After these two sizes, another size is 5 inch. Another size is 5 inch. 5 inch disc. 5 inch disc and this 125. 5 inch disc and 4.5 inch. Just half inch difference, a little difference. And the inner hole also same. So some customer they will more prefer to disc 115 on a 125 angle grinder. Actually, this is not too much problem. Use a small disc on a big size angle grinder, because 4.5 inch angle grinder and 5 inch angle grinder, the running speed is same. Normally is 10,000 RPM. So this is not too much problem. But if you use the same thinking with 7 inch and 9 inch, you looks the and 9 inch, the inner holes also same. So if you just to fix a mount, you just mount the disc on the angle grinder. You can put the 7 inch disc. You can put in on the 9 inch angle grinder is about 6,600 RPM, but 7 inch angle grinder normally is 8,500 or more. The running speed is different. You use the small speed on a big machine. When you work, it's not so sharp. When you cut something, it's difficult, it's harder. And if you use it to grinding, the efficiency less efficient. So we always should use the right size disc on the right size machine. Not mixed use. Even sometimes you can mount the disc on it. Even some customers, when they work, they take off the safety guard. At that time, they can put a big size 9 inch disc on a 7 inch angle grinder. But this is very dangerous, because just now I already mentioned the running speed 7 inch angle grinder is more than 8,500 RPM, too much quickly than 9 inch. So the disc was running too fast. If too high speed, when we cut the disc maybe broken. It's very dangerous. So always remember, choose the right size disk for your machine. This talk about the size. After the size, then we talk about our working. Just now, I already showed the disk is cutting disk. We can see the thickness. The thickness is thin. And here I have one disk. This one, even the size is small, but it's thicker. The thickness. This one is for grinding. This one is for grinding. If we use a thin disk for grinding, firstly, quickly finish. Secondly, the thin one easily broken. So for grinding work, we should use the grinding disk. Grinding disk. So just now is talk about the size. Now we talk about the thickness. For cutting, use the thin one, more efficient, quickly cut, and not waste the materials. If for grinding, we should choose grinding disk for safety and for long lifetime of the disk. Actually, the disk cutting and grinding before have two sides. For cutting, at the beginning, cutting disk is 3 mm thickness, 3 mm thickness. This one cut a little slowly, but it can use longer time and more safe. The disk not easily broken. But recent years, more and more people prefer use the single one, 1.2 or 1 milli. Even some factory, they can produce 0.8 milli disk. The single one cut more quickly, but more dangerous. So we always choose the standard thickness disk, not always to catch the thin one. For example, for us, we always use the 1.2. This thickness already quickly too much, then 3 milli, and it's safe too much, then 1 milli and 0.8 milli. This is about the disk cutting, grinding, and the size. Okay. This disk is for metal. Just now we introduced Jobits. It's for metal, wood, and concrete. So same thinking. We must have some disk is for concrete, for granite, of course. Here is the discs for concrete. Firstly, this disk, we call it diamond disk. Just now this is abrasive disk. This is diamond disk. The disk is made of diamond, but not so big diamond, just some small diamond in the blade. Okay, diamond disk. We can see here have 3 teeth. The shape of the teeth is different. We divide diamond disk to 3 categories. One is, we call it wet cutting disk. One is dry cutting disk, and one is universal. Third, what's the difference between these 3? First, we introduce this one, running fast one. We use this to cut the concrete, cut the brick, cut the ore You can see we have segment like a big teeth, so it can cut quickly. Then other two kind of blade. But have one problem is if we use this to cut, the surface is very smooth. For example, the teeth sometimes scratch, broken the surface of the tires. So if we cut tires or the surface is smooth one, we use this. We use this one. It's better. The wet one. Wet diamond disc. And this universal one is they have the true advantage of this. It's quickly than this, but it's not so smooth. Same as this. It's cut more smooth than this, but not so quickly than this. So this one is in the middle. This is the three kinds of diamond disc. Okay. So after we introduce the three kinds of diamond disc, maybe have one question in your mind. How can I identify good quality one, or middle quality one, or even better quality one about a diamond disc? Because in the market, many different kinds of diamond disc. The diamond disc cost is not so cheap, same as the abrasive one, even a little high or low, not too much difference. The price, too much difference. So we should spend our money for cost. Now we'll introduce how to identify a good quality diamond disc. First, even in our total brand, we have the basic one and the industry. Here, this one is our total industrial diamond disc. You see, this one also, this is made of metal. So when we touch, it's better we wear the gloves. Okay. You see, this is the wet. This is universal, the top one. This is the dry one. So we compare these two, dry diamond disc. What's the difference? If we separately show this, of course, already bet too much than the normal ones in the market compared with other brands. But if compare with our industry one, this will mark industry. This will mark basic. Basic is basic. Industrial is industry. Not just a letter, not just a word. When we move, okay, now I think many of you guys, you already found the taste is different. The next, this one is 7.5 millimeter height, the height of the teeth, and this one is 10 milli. Is 10 milli. You can see 7.5 and 10. This is 7.5 and this is 10. Okay, this is the first. This is the first. And the second, actually, many factories, they're very smart. Very smart. They know many people is identified by this size. So they also made a big size. But just now I've already said, this is called diamond disc. Diamond disc. So the second very important key point is, how about the diamond? It's very, very, the density of the diamond. We can count the point. How many points of the diamond? The small point is the black point is the diamond. The numbers of the diamond, more one is the better quality. This is the first. And the second is the diamond bigger is the better quality. Just like our ring. The diamond ring. The diamond is bigger. The price is higher. Good quality. So we can distinguish these two. First is the size. In the market, have three sizes: 5 milli, 7.5 milli, and 10 milli. This is the first. The second is how many points, the numbers of the diamond with the teeth, in one teeth. And the third is how about the size? It's big or just small diamond. Okay, this let us to know how to know the quality of the diamond. Basic is basic, industry is industry, not just a word. Okay. This is about the disc for concrete. After metal concrete, about disc we left one for the wood. So today we'll introduce the last category, the wood cutting disc. The wood cutting disc. Okay, here. Or this also a diamond. Wood cutting disc. We keep it in a very good place in this. Okay, this. Normally, wood cutting disc we use for what machine? Two kinds of machine. One is the circular saw, cut wood, and another is the table saw and the mitre saw. We use the wood cutting disc. The wood cutting disc, but is the same as the concrete disc. First is the size. Okay, see? After we open it, then we introduce. These two discs, all for wood. Here also. And the size, all is 185. The size, all is 185. Okay. Same size. But after we take, we can learn some difference. The first difference for the wood cutting disc is the numbers of the teeth. 24 teeth, 60 teeth, and we also have this one. Teeth. You can see all is 185, but one is 6 teeth, one is 40 teeth, and another is 24 teeth. So even the same size, the teeth number is different. The teeth difference will influence what performance when we use it. The more teeth when we cut, the surface, the cutting surface will more smooth. But because we can see the teeth is more, of course, it's small. This teeth have more teeth, but each teeth looks smaller than the big one. So when it's cutting, the less teeth will cut quickly, but the surface is rough. The more teeth one, it cut smooth, but actually the cutting speed is a little slower than the less teeth one. So if you do the work, need high accuracy, very good performance, of course, choose the more teeth one. But if you just the first time to cut quickly, of course, use the less teeth. And the cost of a wood cutting disc is based on the numbers of the teeth. The base is not too much cost. The cost all is on the tip. So the teeth more, the cost is more. So 20 teeth, the price, of course, higher than 40 teeth. Okay, this is the first difference of the wood cutting disc. And in the market, the machines have many different brands, and different brands, they use the disc sometimes have some difference, especially the inner hose. For example, this we can see this hose is bigger than this hose. How can we solve this problem? We use reduction ring. Use the ring to reduce the hole size. This first time, and actually this is the third time. Totally some big size. We have 1, 2, even 3 the reduction ring. Okay, this is for the 185 circular saw. Also big size. This 80 teeth for the miter saw. 80 teeth, 12-inch miter saw. Use this. Inside also have the induction ring for different brands, not only for Total, also can use for other brands, Bosch, Makita. Okay, no problem. And this one, 350 more teeth. This one is 100 teeth. So this is the disc for the wood cutting. Today we prepared more accessories, but because time is limited, so we just share some about the drill bits and the discs. We have more like chisels, like the sandpapers, and also these multifunction tools, accessories, and wire brushes, and more jigsaw blade, and also drill bits. More items. Today we have don't have enough time to share with our friends. Welcome to our next time experience sharing So if you want to other more accessories, you also can leave the messages for us. Reply after the live show. Thanks for your time. Thank you, Brian. 切到你了，
可以了。
辛苦。
时间还不够。
这个东西讲之前呢，就觉得应该不多。
最主要是秦师傅肚子里面有料，知识点。
有多少人看啊？有超过150人，不设讲。最多的100人，就今天这个，今天没什么人看。
其实我感觉今天拍的比前几次要清晰多了，你觉得吧？
是，对。
今天真的比前几天清晰多了，完全不是一个档次的。这个适合电脑看，手机看可能屏幕有问题。
真正实际上想学东西，应该经验看了才有。
是。
对。或者像是我觉得还是有个小助理一起互动的。
我们现在上。
视频上看到。在哪？你在哪？在哪看？
那我可能是还有日两周，找个人那个。
你手机有标注吗？
有啊。
因为你搜一下那个，看的也不是特别清楚。
可以吧？这个话还不清楚，就比之前清楚。
你搜一下这个。
对。
然后视频是吧？
看看今天的直播能不能看到。
这个 这。
是看钱的吧？关掉了。
不吃完，等现在吃完。
哎，这个